Good afternoon. This is Dr. Holly Hamilton, the Director of Meteorology at the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, here to talk to you about Tropical Storm Melissa. Tropical Storm Melissa is currently over the central Caribbean Sea, about 300 miles south of Haiti. We can see the significant cloud cover associated with that system here. And then if you look further north, here's the Turks and Caicos Islands. We see some cloudiness over our area as well, as you all would have noticed today being quite cloudy, and it has been that way for most of the week, and it's expected to continue throughout the rest of the week, and that's by and part associated with some low-level troughing over the area, and there's also upper-level troughing, divergence aloft, helping to support the increased cloudiness and enhance chances of rainfall, showers, and thunderstorm activity through tonight. So if we quickly switch over to the infrared satellite imagery here, again, just another way of looking at the observations. The infrared satellite imagery indicates the temperature of the cloud tops. So here we're seeing some bright reds and oranges. These are really high cloud tops, and that indicates strong convection, strong thunderstorms. So we see some strong thunderstorms associated with a cluster of thunderstorms associated with Tropical Storm Melissa here over the central Caribbean Sea. And then again, if you look further north, you see some other indications, some green and blues. There's also some oranges and reds over here of just some showers and thunderstorm activity being generated, again associated with some troughing over this area. So back to Melissa, taking a look at the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center at 2 o'clock today. So Melissa is currently, like I said, roughly 300 miles south of Haiti. It's moving west at a very, very slow 2 miles per hour, and it has maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. Now, right now, there's significant uncertainty on the track forecast and also the intensity forecast of Tropical Storm Melissa. You see this big white bubble here. That's basically the cone of uncertainty. Right now, there's just not a clear picture of where Melissa will go over the next couple of days. There's quite a large divergence in the model projections right now on the tract, and by and part that's influenced by the strength of Melissa, the intensity of Melissa. So there's some model projections indicating that it will make that northerly track across Hispaniola and pass us to the east earlier on, say maybe later this week, over the weekend going into early next week. And then the majority of model projections indicate that it will continue on this westerly track very slowly, and then again early to mid next week could interact with a trough that comes off of the U.S., which then can take it up north and across Cuba and the Bahamas. Again, even with that, there's variation of exactly where it will track when it comes towards the north. So right now, like I said, there's just significant uncertainty. So it's too early to say what are the potential impacts for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So we just strongly encourage residents and interests in the Turks and Caicos Islands to closely monitor the progress of Tropical Storm Melissa. And then lastly, just wanted to show you the rainfall forecast for Tropical Storm Melissa. We see the majority of that rainfall over the central Caribbean Sea, and then high rainfall amounts for Jamaica and the southern coast of Hispaniola. And then there's some greens here. The darker green represents 2 to 4 inches possible over the next 3 days over our area, the Turks and Caicos Islands. But that hatched, you see this hatching over the area, that represents that there's low confidence associated with that. But as you know from the forecast that would have been issued today, we're looking at rainy rest of the week, and potentially going into the weekend, again associated with the troughing over our area. So with that, the key messages are: there's significant uncertainty with the track and intensity forecast of Tropical Storm Melissa at this point in time. We just encourage residents and interests in the Turks and Caicos Islands to closely monitor the progress of Melissa, and we ask you to do that through official channels. So, for example, you can follow Turks and Caicos Islands National Weather Service at TCINWS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to at TCI National Weather Service. And then also, if you have not subscribed to the WhatsApp broadcast channel, I also encourage you to do so. Again, you would receive any updates, forecasts, and alerts and advisories through those various channels. And also the DDME Alert app, that is also another method of sharing the critical information. So with that, again, and also you can hear the forecast on Radio Turks and Caicos and Power 92.5. So there's very wide spectrum of ways that you can receive local weather information in the Turks and Caicos Islands through those various official channels. Thank you, and we will see you on Friday with the tropical weather briefing, and we will then update on the progression of Tropical Storm Melissa.